In the grand tapestry of technological innovation, few threads are as vibrant or transformative as the story of Bill Gates and Microsoft. It begins not in a sterile corporate laboratory, but in the restless mind of a young man who saw the future in a flickering screen. Gates was more than just a programmer. He was a visionary who imagined a world where a personal computer would sit on every desk and in every home. This wasn't merely a business plan, it was a prophecy. That conviction propelled him from a Seattle suburb to the pinnacle of global influence, forever altering the way humanity communicates, works, and lives. The company he co-founded, Microsoft, became the engine for this revolution. Microsoft didn't just build products, it created an ecosystem, a standard that would dominate the industry for decades. The name itself became synonymous with the digital age. Classrooms, boardrooms, living rooms. The journey of Microsoft is inextricably linked to the personal journey of Bill Gates, a story of relentless ambition, fierce competition, an unwavering belief in the power of code to reshape society. It's a testament to how singular focus paired with brilliant insight can change the world. This story isn't just about technology, it's about the human spirit of creation and competition. Gates and his team were driven by an intense desire to win, to solve the puzzle faster, and to be better than anyone else. William Henry Gates III was born into a world of quiet ambition in Seattle, Washington. His father was a prominent lawyer, his mother a respected business executive and philanthropist. From an early age, it was clear that Bill was different. He was voraciously intelligent, a reader who consumed encyclopedias for pleasure. His parents, recognizing his unique intellect, made a pivotal decision. They enrolled him in the exclusive Lakeside School, an institution that would unknowingly become the crucible for the digital revolution. It was at Lakeside that a 13-year-old Gates first laid his hands on a computer terminal, a clunky teletype Model 33 connected to a mainframe computer. For him, it was love at first sight. The machine was a puzzle box of infinite possibilities. Gates and his close friend Paul Allen became inseparable, spending countless hours in the school's small computer room. They weren't just using the computer, they were dominating it. They devoured programming manuals, taught themselves different coding languages, and pushed the machine to its limits. They were obsessed, often skipping classes and staying up all night to explore the digital frontier. This wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling. He and Allen started their first venture, Data, a system to analyze traffic flow data from municipal governments. It was a modest success at best, but the experience was formative. After graduating from Lakeside with a near-perfect score on his SATs, Gates followed a well-trodden path to Harvard University in 1973. He enrolled in a pre-law track, a nod to his father's profession. But his heart remained tethered to the computer lab. The catalyst for Microsoft's birth arrived in the form of a magazine cover. In January 1975, Popular Electronics featured a revolutionary new device, the Altair 8800, one of the world's first microcomputer kits. Paul Allen raced to show the magazine to Gates at Harvard. They both instantly recognized the moment, the starting gun of the personal computer race. The hardware was finally here, but it was an empty vessel. It lacked the one thing that could make it useful: software. Without hesitation, Gates and Allen made a bold move. They called MITS the Albuquerque company behind the Altair. They claimed they had a working BASIC for the new computer. In reality, they hadn't written a single line of code. It was a bluff, a high-stakes gamble. Ed Roberts asked for a demonstration. The race was on. For the next 8 weeks, they worked feverishly. Gates took a leave of absence from Harvard. Allen and Gates coded day and night. The moment of truth. Paul Allen flew to Albuquerque with the code on paper tape. He'd never even touched a real Altair before. As he loaded the tape, it could have failed, but it didn't. The program loaded. Allen typed, "Print 2 plus 2. The machine replied, 4. It worked. A deal was struck. In 1975, in a small Albuquerque office, they formed their partnership. They named it Microsoft. Microcomputer. Software. This was the genesis. The starting capital wasn't inheritance or venture capital. It was their intellect, their programming skills. Modest funds from earlier projects like Data. Their primary asset, shared vision, relentless work ethic. They believed software was the key to unlocking the personal computer. They were determined to provide it, one line of code at a time. Bill Gates' qualifications cannot be measured by a traditional diploma or a list of degrees. He famously dropped out of Harvard, one of the world's most prestigious universities. His true credentials were not framed on a wall, but were etched in the thousands of hours he spent mastering the language of computers. His qualification was an unparalleled fluency in software development combined with an almost obsessive focus on the technical details. He wasn't just a manager, he was a hardcore programmer who could dive into any piece of code, identify flaws, and suggest improvements with breathtaking speed and accuracy. His mind worked like a processor, capable of holding vast and complex systems in his head simultaneously. This technical depth gave him immense credibility with his own engineers. He conducted legendary code reviews, personally scrutinized his programmers' work, often tearing it apart line by line. While intimidating, this process instilled a culture of discipline and excellence at Microsoft. His qualification, therefore, was a potent combination of raw intellectual horsepower, a deep and practical understanding of software architecture, an uncompromising standard for quality. He didn't just know about technology, he knew technology from the inside out. Beyond his technical prowess, Gates possessed a rare and powerful business acumen. He understood that the real value in the computer industry was not in the physical hardware, but in the software that made it run. This was his central thesis. While companies like IBM focused on building and selling big machines, Gates envisioned licensing software to many different hardware manufacturers. This strategy, a computer on every desk and in every home running Microsoft software, was the North Star guiding every company decision. It was a qualification in strategic thinking that proved revolutionary. This vision was complemented by a fierce competitive spirit. Gates was not content to be just a player. He was determined to win and set the standard. His qualification was also that of a master strategist and negotiator. The pivotal deal with IBM to provide the operating system for their first personal computer is a testament to this. He delivered MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System, and retained the rights to license the software to other computer makers. This single decision created the foundation for Microsoft's dominance. Bill Gates' journey to becoming the world's richest man was a direct consequence of Microsoft's explosive growth and his strategic ownership of the company. The key moment was Microsoft's initial public offering on March 13, 1986. The stock was offered at $21 per share. On the first day of trading, it closed at $28. This single event turned Gates, who owned a significant 45% of the company, into an instant multimillionaire at the age of 30. But this was only the beginning of a meteoric rise. The world was rapidly embracing the personal computer, and Microsoft was providing the essential software that powered this new age. As the PC market grew exponentially throughout the late 1980s and 90s, so did Microsoft's revenues and its stock price. The release of Windows 3.0 in 1990 was a watershed moment. It transformed the complex command line interface of MS-DOS into a user-friendly graphical environment. Icons, a mouse. Suddenly, computers were accessible to everyone, not just hobbyists and engineers. Sales skyrocketed, and Microsoft's stock value soared along with them. Just a year after the IPO, at the age of 31, Bill Gates became the youngest self-made billionaire in history. His wealth was not inherited. It was forged in the fires of innovation and market domination. The launch of Windows 95 was another monumental event, a cultural phenomenon backed by an unprecedented marketing blitz. People lined up at midnight to buy the software, an event unheard of for a computer program. Windows 95, bundled with the Internet Explorer web browser, cemented Microsoft's monopoly on the desktop. As the Internet boom took hold, Microsoft was perfectly positioned. At the peak of the dot-com bubble in 1999, Gates' net worth briefly surpassed $100 billion, an astronomical sum that made him a symbol of the new tech-driven economy. His position as the world's richest person, a title he held for many years, was a simple function of mathematics, the value of his massive stake in the company he had built from scratch. Every success of Microsoft, every copy of Windows sold, every copy of Office sold, directly contributed to his personal fortune. Today, Microsoft stands as one of the most valuable and influential corporations in the world. As of early 2025, its company valuation frequently hovers above the staggering $3 trillion mark, placing it in an elite club of global mega corporations. For the fiscal year ending in 2024, Microsoft reported revenues exceeding $230 billion. This financial might is powered by a global workforce of over 220,000 dedicated employees. The nerve center of this global empire is the sprawling Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, Washington, but Microsoft's reach is truly global. In India, a country with a deep and rich talent pool in technology, Microsoft has established a significant presence. Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Noida. The Hyderabad campus, in particular, is Microsoft's largest development center outside of the United States. It is estimated that more than 20,000 Indians work directly for Microsoft within the country, contributing to nearly every facet of the company's product portfolio, Azure Cloud Platform, Office 365 Suite. These talented engineers and business leaders are not just supporting global operations, they are driving innovation and leading key projects that have a worldwide impact. Bill Gates' story has a remarkable second act, one that may ultimately define his legacy even more than Microsoft. In 2000, he and his then wife, Melinda French Gates, established the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. With an endowment that is one of the largest in the world, the foundation has a clear and ambitious mission to tackle the great inequities of our time. Gates transitioned away from his day-to-day role at Microsoft to dedicate his immense intellect and resources to solving some of humanity's most complex problems, eradicating diseases like polio, eradicating diseases like malaria, improving global health, enhancing education. His biggest achievements now include the lives saved and improved through the foundation's work. This philanthropic endeavor is driven by the same data-driven, analytical approach that built Microsoft. Gates studies global health challenges with the intensity of a programmer debugging code, seeking the most efficient and impactful solutions. The foundation has been instrumental in the global distribution of vaccines, saving millions of lives. On a personal level, Bill Gates is a father to 3 children, Jennifer, Rory, Phoebe. Despite his immense wealth and public profile, he and Melinda made a concerted effort to provide their children with a normal upbringing, instilling in them a sense of responsibility. They have famously announced that the vast majority of their fortune will not be inherited by their children, but will instead be dedicated to the foundation's philanthropic missions. In conclusion, the story of Bill Gates and Microsoft is more than a business success story. It is an inspiring saga of how vision, intellect, and relentless determination can reshape the world. From a teenager obsessed with a computer terminal to the architect of the digital age, and now a global philanthropist, Gates' journey is a testament to the power of a great idea. Microsoft's most famous products, Windows, Office, created the modern workplace and brought computing to the masses. The company he built continues to be a dominant force, but his ultimate legacy may be the belief he has championed that the same ingenuity that creates technological marvels can, and should, be used to solve humanity's oldest and most persistent problems. Follow and share Janamatha channel.